Hello, everybody, and welcome to Midnight Monday, which I know we haven't done in a little while, and I'm sorry for that. We've had a lot of bullshit going on. Let's put it that way. But the important part is we are here, we are ready to play, and we have a new player with us tonight. But we're gonna start off, and we'll start off with a new player. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Pixie. I play tabletops regularly, but I'm usually a DM for one-off sessions. So being able to actually play in a one-shot is something I haven't done in a long time, and I'm very excited.
Happy to have you.
Yes, very happy to
Yes.
have you. And we also have returning Kat, our perennial tester here.
I'm like a flower. That's where we're just gonna leave me.
A delicate flower. And last but not least, we have remember your screen name Wheeler.
Yeah, that's my last name. That's what everyone calls me. Hi,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Wheeler. I'm excited to be playing again and playing a different character who's got a bit of an accent to him, so I'm looking forward to it. Excited, having fun.
Oh yeah.
All right. And as always, I'm Gavin, one of the designers and owners of the company that makes Midnight World. We're going to start off today with a little update, just to let everybody know that we have not given up. We are still writing. We have some we have some ghostwriters, not ghostwriters. What are they called? Some freelancers we brought in to help us with finishing up some stuff as we get it there. We things are going to the editor and back from the editor for revisions and things and all of that fun stuff. But we are hoping to have something out very soon. We are every time I look at it, we're closer. I know I've said that before, and it's always true. So here we are. But I will be running our session this evening. Some of you have seen, um, have probably watched this specific event before, or session before. Midnight in Millstone is what we are going to be running. However, uh, sorry, my Twitch crashed, and I'm trying to follow things. Let's okay, yeah, good. You're still muted. Thank God. Um Sorry everybody, I was trying to get back into the chat here. Bloop and bloop. All right, there we go. It says we're offline. Oh, the
Nope, we're good.
compound. I've been telling people the wrong
Okay,
place. I forgot that
so
that was the
the
thing.
Twitch link has an exclamation point stuck at the end of it that you have to remove for it to work. So
Ah.
if it's saying it isn't working, just remove the exclamation point, and it will take you to the
Well,
place
now
pointed
I'm
out.
I'm in the chat. No wonder I couldn't figure out what was going on. Anyway, we're on the compound. So, welcome everybody to the compound where we will be
Thank you for the follow.
streaming out. Yes, I just followed as the first time on this session here. But tonight we are going to go ahead and start off with our content warnings. We will be dealing. We do this before every session. This is a horror game, cooperative horror storytelling RPG. Um, and the content warnings for tonight, we will be dealing with some body horror, some religious. We'll call them shenanigans, using religious trappings, cultish behavior, what have you, and the general like blood, and stuff that you would see from forms of combat. If there's anything that someone is like, hey, this should probably be in your content warnings, and I didn't say it, let me know. I'm learning it's a lot more difficult to label these on some of the things that I write because I'm weird. Um, And yeah, so without any further ado, we will go ahead and begin Midnight in Millstone. Um,
Did we want to go over community aid?
oh, that's right. Sorry, Kat. Please, community cause for this evening.
So this evening's community cause, our community aid outreach, is to help an Indigenous mother and her child to escape an abusive situation. Um, the direct threat of violence has been removed. However, relocating across state lines is not cheap. And uh, part of their goal is to stay where they have relocated in order to give the young lady a better opportunity and quality education. So every penny helps, guys. Seriously. Um, this is really, really close to my heart personally. And I think if we hit 25, maybe there'll be a giveaway. Maybe at $10 we can get Wade to serenade us with some boot scoot and boogie.
Boot, scoot, and buggy.
And we hit 25 or get over 25, I'll go ahead and acapella some old country classics. So there's your incentive.
Yeah. Yes, public embarrassment is your incentive this evening for uh, donating to a very worthy cause. And yeah, so please. Um,
Silverhand.
uh,
Oh.
yes, the giveaway this evening will be the Laurel Silverhand dice set for D&D.
If we
Which
hit
we
25 bucks.
get
So let's
25
do it,
bucks.
guys. We've got 10 people in chat. It looks like 25 bucks. Those are really good odds for some
Yeah,
gorgeous dice.
exactly.
And public
Exactly.
embarrassment.
And
Yeah,
public embarrassment. Yeah, that's still
content
on the
warning for
table.
the public embarrassment.
Yeah. Public humiliation is still on the table, just letting everybody know. But now, without further ado, your vehicle died not long after dusk as you were headed towards a cabin just off the Blue Ridge Parkway. That's how you found yourself sitting in the cab of an old wrecker somewhere in the rural foothills of Georgia. Your cell phones have little service in this area, but fortunately for you, this old heap happened to be passing by after you broke down. The tow driver's name is Clive, and he's taking you to his shop just a few miles down the road. He's told you that he won't be able to look at it till the morning, and is offering to drop you at the Millstone Motel right across the street. The wrecker has been pulling your vehicle on a bumpy mountain road for nearly an hour. And after, so Clive, and as that's has happened, Clive is not really, other than he'll answer any questions you may want to ask him, but he's just sort of bumping along. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
So, Clive, what do you think is maybe wrong? I mean, you did take a peek underneath the hood.
Well, I won't be able to get too much of a good idea till I get her on the diagnostic machine. But I don't know. Right now, it just looks like she ain't getting no power.
Man, I should have listened to Daddy. He said never trust these newer cars. Can't even work on them yourself, so you can't even trust them to get you down a mountain road. Well, I do appreciate you. Do you know if there's gonna be anywhere we could get something to eat when we get in town?
Oh, the motel's got well, they've got room service. It's getting a little late. Most of the stuff kind of closes early, especially during festival season. Uh,
Oh, there's a festival?
oh yeah, yeah. Y'all gonna have to check it out tomorrow. Let me tell you, it's the best music you'll ever hear, all across God's green earth. Amen. Be praised. But tomorrow's the Millstone Church. Um, well, it's they're shit. What was it called?
I forget too. It's been a while.
It's their we call it homecoming celebration. Basically, we have one of these every year, but this year's special. This marks the 50th year. 50th year the church has been the current church has been built and set up.
Oh,
Y'all like
that's
good
nice.
music?
I
Well, who
love good
don't?
music. Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, Who doesn't like good music?
Well, take a listen to this here. He reaches up and he grabs the knob at the front and he turns it up, and you hear coming through the radio, a little bit scratchy. This the it's an old radio, but um, it's gospel. It's definitely gospel music. You've all heard some form of gospel music, but the language that is being spoken is not English. Um, Coming across the radio waves. And he says, "This here's the only station you get out here. The only one you should be listening to anyway. This is the church's own broadcast station. Just got it set up last winter."
Oh,
That's
that's
Gee.
interesting. What do you understand what they're saying, Clive? Because I don't speak too many languages, so
Oh, well, this here is the story of in Malum. That's a rule of Logash. So basically, well, they're old, not necessarily Bible stories, but very old stories from around that time in a lot of ways. We we're big on reading our gospels in well in the old languages in these parts. That's how you get the true words of the Almighty.
ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know it. I was taught English, and that's about it. Had a
Well,
little
you
bit of Spanish in there, but
you find that you sit in front of the preacher just enough. You learn exactly what every one of those words mean. It's like it leaves a mark upon your soul, and he kind of gets really like uh almost wistful in the way that he kind of like trails off and just stares down the road. And you'll as you're listening to this music, you do feel something that you've not felt with any other real gospel music. There's something coming through this that's not typical of a lot of the Sunday service you'd be used to. People just kind of going through the motions. And it's some of the most beautiful. It's the most beautiful voice you've heard on the radio in ages. Um, you can tell there's no auto tune here.
well, I gotta tell you, Clive, I'm feeling what you're saying. This is some good music, and it's been a while since I've heard a voice as pure and clean as this one, even if it is a little scratchy. But
If
you know,
anyone wants to know what language this is, you may make a roll for that, which is going to be um, an acumen plus wit, and if you have linguistics as a ability, you can pick something up about this or an attribute.
So I've got occult as my vocation and language as one of my aptitudes.
You can definitely roll this with the d8s. Yes, you language is not linguistics. Language, that was it. Oh, for each dot in language, you actually speak an additional language. By the way, I don't remember if we went over that, but
No, I think this is the first time language has come up.
okay.
I got 3 successes.
Okay, the language that is coming across, and you're kind of shocked to hear someone actually speaking it because it's been dead a long time. But you're hearing Sumerian coming across the radio.
me as a player is like, wow, holy crap.
Okay. Yeah, this is a real old language there, isn't it, Clive? Amy, what do you think of this beautiful hymn?
Relaxing.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
good word for it. Yeah.
Because I don't understand, it doesn't mean it speaks to me. I get what you're saying, but
yeah. And well, Clive, I don't know if you would ever had a reason to stay at the hotel that you're or the inn that you're going to be taking us to, the lodgings. But do you know if they have any radios that we could listen to more of this music this evening?
Oh,
Or is there
absolutely,
like a
Dave.
TV
Let me.
station?
Don't you worry. You'll be able to hear this everywhere you want to hear it all night long at Millstone Motel. Every
All
single
right.
every single room has a radio, and every single radio is tuned to this station.
I could
Well, you
fall
did
asleep to
say
this,
it's the
so
only one. So good. We'll be right as rain in the morning, nice and rested.
So, as you're having this conversation, you see some lights over top of the next hill that you're cresting. It's not light pollution; it's just the light of a small town that you kind of pull over. Um, and you see, like, as you kind of roll down the hill into the part of this sort of valley. You're in the foothills, but it's you're at the base of mountains at this point. It's just kind of there's small, like, a lot of fertile farmland out here and stuff like that. And that's what you see. There's fields all across past where the lights are, and you can see in the center of this thing is a massive building with different colored lights kind of coming out the stained glass windows. Obviously, it's the church. And you pull down the road to the get onto the main strip here, and up on the first thing on the right is Clive's towing. He as you pass by, you can see that, like, he's got two of his three doors are closed, but the one that's open, you see a looks like a motorcycle that's been kind of pulled apart. Looks like it was in a wreck. You can see the front wheel has been kind of bent or whatever, and he continues to go just for a little bit until to the left, and there is the Millstone Motel. Um, Millstone Motel is like a one-story L-shaped building. The parking lot very well maintained, but it's a very old patch of black asphalt. There's numerous soft glowing lampposts arranged over the parking lot, and above each of the rooms, each of the doors in the rooms, above each, these lanterns are above each of the doors over the rooms along the building. English, thank you.
Words are hard.
He pulls you up to the center of the L shape where the office is located, and you could tell rolling up this building is very old. It is old brick, but again, very well maintained. There's not any dirt. Everything's very clean and almost pristine looking. Um,
30. I mean, it looks like a great place to stay. Speaking of, I noticed something back there, Clive. Is that bike yours in the shop?
he kind of gives you a look. He says, "No, no, I, never really took to those too much. Just that was one we found wrecked over here. Ain't don't know who exactly was riding it. Hope they're okay. Couldn't find them.
Hmm.
I even had a search party out here yesterday for them. Everything couldn't see a thing. But I brought it back here just in case. Want no reason to leave something that dangerous on the road."
No, that's fair. If you're looking to get rid of it, and whenever we get a chance to get out of here and get back home, I might come by and stop by, see if I can pick it up from you. I used to have one when I was a little younger, but I had to sell it to pay for bills and such. But I've always been looking for another one. So if you fix it up, I'd be willing to offer you a pretty good price for it.
Oh, well, it's gonna take a few days to get that sucker back on the road. But how about you swing back by on your way back from your trip out there? Then we'll see what's going on. But it's gonna depend on the sheriff and whether or not we ever figure out who it belongs to.
Oh
Um,
no, that's
he's running all
understandable.
those. He's doing all those sheriff things. There's reason I ain't one. So
Feel that?
but he says, but I'm gonna get your heat back over here to the garage, and y'all have a good old night here. I recommend when you get up in the morning checking out the festivities. And he kind of points just a little ways down the road. He says, right about there, about 2 blocks down is where everything's gonna begin. It's gonna be surrounding the big old church down there. You can't miss it. But food, games, prizes, everything you could want.
Hey, sounds like a
Nice.
good time to me. Here's the keys, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to hand them to you when we got into the
Oh
truck.
yeah, I would have had to come back over here and get you again. Well, you guys have a y'all have a great night, and I'll make sure that I have an idea sometime in the morning what's going on with it. So he drops you off and kind of pulls back over across the street. You see him if continue to watch him or whatever. He backs the vehicle up and gets out, rolls up one of the doors, all that stuff. Just putting the vehicle away.
Sounds good. All right, so 3 rooms, 1 room, 2 rooms. What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, Wade, we are cousins, but still, people out in these parts, it's just like being over by grannies. It is not appropriate for unwed men and women to share the same accommodations.
No, you're
So,
right. You're right. Just trying to save money, just seeing how everyone
I
was
know.
feeling.
I feel like this place probably pretty hospitable and, understanding. So 2 rooms ought not be too much.
Yeah, I mean, it looks clean, it looks taken care of, and I mean, we've only
Now,
met one person from here so far, and they seem nice. So
before we go in and start looking at, obtaining these lodgings, I want to tell y'all that language was Sumerian, like before the language of the Bible.
there's a language before the Bible.
Yes, Wade, we've been over this.
Couldn't fool me.
Marion.
Yeah, Sumerian, Amy. Remember that one class that we took that was world religions, and they were talking about the cuneiform
Oh,
tablets that they have found?
yeah.
Yeah, it's that language. So I don't know, maybe something a little hanky. I'm gonna try to rack my brains. All this driving on the bumpy roads, rattles my noggin a little bit, but I'm trying to think of what he said about that Lagash. Like that just don't sound like anything I ever saw in King James.
Not anything I've ever read.
So yeah, let's go on and get the rooms, or I'll stand right here and y'all go get the rooms.
Yeah, I'll go in and check. Amy, you want to come along, or
Yeah.
you gonna stay here? All right. Well, let's go talk to the clerk, see what we can find.
Daisy, how many points do you have in languages? Or not points?
Um,
I'm sorry. You have languages. How many points do you have in acumen?
Q.
2. You may speak 2 languages.
In addition to English, or
Yes,
English and another.
additional languages.
Nice.
The As a baseline, you're considered to speak the tongue of wherever you live, and if you are somebody that is not indigenous to that place, also your indigenous language automatically. But this is beyond
Perfect.
that. You speak uh 2 languages.
I go with Latin's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're occultist, absolutely.
Yeah. And then Hebrew. So that's another good occultic
Agreed.
research.
What kind of Hebrew?
Ooh.
We're gonna go to what I have downstairs, biblical Hebrew.
There you go. Biblical Hebrew. There you are. So Latin and biblical. Mark those down somewhere. Both of those will matter.
Awesome.
Okay. So, uh, yeah. So do y'all go inside? Do you?
Yeah, Amy and I are gonna head inside, and um, I'm assuming there's either someone at the front or a bell.
Well, as you walk in, the lobby of the Millstone Motel is also old, but well maintained. Small room with a single desk sitting at the far wall. 2 chairs sitting next to a chessboard atop of a barrel. And sitting behind the small desk is a young red-haired man wearing a plain button-up shirt. And you can tell just from a glance that this is not something you would get at, a department store. This was a handmade shirt of some sort. He's leaning back in his chair, flipping through a large leather-bound book. As you walk in, little bell above the door goes ding, and he looks up and he says, Well, welcome, strangers. What can I do for you this evening?
Uh,
He
Howdy, sir.
closes the book, lays it down, and kind of stands up, uh, waiting for you to approach. He says,
Ju-
"Y'all need some rooms?
Two, just for the night.
Oh, for the night, Yeah, yeah. Y'all in town for the festival tomorrow?
If I
I'm
happenstance.
Yeah, by happenstance, we broke down a few miles out of town, and Clive over there, who owns the shop, just happened to be in the area, picked us up, and towed us into town, and he told us about this festival going on. So, you know, it just happens we're here for it, and
He
I mean, I'm
says,
kind of excited.
"Well, I am so glad to see y'all here. Let me tell you that there's something that I've learned, and that is that the Almighty works in mysterious ways, and there's you are in for a treat. You may have seen this as a bad rub of luck, but I believe that you are where you are supposed to be, all of you. Um, and he kind of like looks and says, "Y'all got another friend outside out there?"
Yeah, that's my cousin Daisy. She just wanted to stay outside for a second. We just wanted to come in, see what the cost would be for 2 rooms, and kind of make our way from there.
Oh, cost ain't no cost one bit. That would be against the way we do things around here. And he actually hands you 3 keys. And he says, "These are for your rooms. We actually, we have a couple still open. We don't get a lot of travelers out this way, festival or no. But I am so happy to see you here. Here you are."
I put my wallet back in my pocket. Oh,
Do you
well,
need any
thank.
work done around here? I can do some lifting for you if
Oh,
a
oh,
barter would be more up your alley.
darling, you are too kind, just too kind. But there's nothing needed to be done around here. That's what they had me up here for. If there's anything you want to do to repay the town of Millstone, you just ask one of the deacons or the pastor tomorrow, and I'm sure he can get you right. But everything out here is provided by the Church of Millstone. Praise be the Almighty.
Hey, amen to that.
And as you're kind of talking, you hear he's got it turned down really quiet, but you hear more strange language coming out of a radio that's sitting on the desk. And as you kind of glance over the desk, it's one of those old wooden, like rounded radios that's kind of sitting there, like kind of spitting out the tunes. You're also not aware of this language necessarily, but it doesn't sound like the one you were hearing before. He says, "But does anything else?" And as you kind of like look around at the radio, you see the big leather-bound book he was reading. There is a strange language on the front of that one too?
I think we're good. What's that you're reading there?
Oh, this whole thing. I've been working to become a deacon hard, and to do that, you got to study a lot of history and a lot of different languages. And this one here is my next read. Uh,
Well,
it would most likely bore you to tears. And he says, it's it's a story of it's a study of the first words spoken to mankind by God and or by the Almighty in His well His blessed creations.
I mean, it sounds like an interesting read, but I don't speak too many languages. That's Daisy's forefront. So,
Oh, well, that's good to hear. But if y'all need anything, you hungry or anything else, so just let me know. Just put there's a little card in your room, fill it out. There's and hang it outside, and one of our people will be along to bring you your order.
all right. Well, I appreciate it. Amy, you got any questions?
Yeah. Get ready
Well,
to
we'll
settle
be.
in.
Yep.
All right, y'all have a pleasant evening. He sits back down and he pulls like opens his book back down and starts going back to it.
Uh, you as well. And I start walking towards the door, and then I stop for a second, and then I turn back around. By the way, I didn't catch your name there.
Oh, my apologies, my apologies. My name is Simeon.
Simeon, nice to meet you. Name's Wade.
Good to meet you, Wade. Good to meet you.
Meet you, Amy.
Alrighty then. I guess we'll just go get some sleep. I think we were looking for some food, so we'll make sure we put those cards out there for you.
You got it.
Have a
Someone
good
will be
night.
along. Now, just let you know, the lady she can put them cards in is 8 o'clock. Kitchen's going to be closed after that.
Sounds good. What time is it right now?
It's like 7.
Okay.
Like, it's, it's dusk. Well, I'm sorry. I did this wrong. 9 o'clock. It's 8. It was dark. It's about 8 o'clock now. Get him in by 8:30, he said. So.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Appreciate it. We'll get it in ASAP.
Yep, no one should go to bed hungry tonight. Not when there's food here.
Mm-hmm. So, as you step back outside and regroup with Daisy.
Well, that was strange. Didn't cost us anything and just gave us 3 rooms for the night.
Wouldn't even let me help out, so it's free. Whatever
Yeah.
you take that.
He said we could talk to the deacons and pastors tomorrow, see what we can help in, but you know, Granny always said, never looked a gift horse in the mouth, so here's your
That's
key.
right. All right. Well, they say anything about food?
Yeah, I
Yep.
need to grab some water real quick. Amy, go ahead.
We have like half an hour to get a request onto these cards up.
Oh, all
Then the
right.
kitchen closes, so we get to eat, but we have to make up our mind up quick.
Oh, well, I'm hungry, so I just want a sandwich. I don't even care. Some ham and some bread, and I'm good.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
So, griddle that.
Yeah, they
Say
didn't.
that as I'm unlocking my door and walking in to find this mystery card.
Okay. So all of you go into your rooms. These rooms are, I mean, you've been in motels before. This is a small, obviously very old room. The furniture looks to be handmade and, antique. It's the heavy stuff. This is not IKEA that you're dealing with. Each of the beds is made out of wood. They're very, again, it's something that keeps, like, as old as this place is, you'd expect to see holes or it's like foundation shifting, or especially close to the mountains, but there's nothing like that around here. Everything seems to be just perfectly maintained. Your beds are like heavy wood. The mattresses are stuffed, obviously not like a mattress factory type thing. It's you're dealing with something that's been stuffed with down and like made locally, most likely. You see on the little table there's a lamp as well as a radio. Each of those radios is already playing as you walk into the room. When you walk into your rooms, the music coming over is another language that is different from the one you heard before. You do not immediately recognize this one, Daisy. You may make a roll to, but hold on to it until I get to you. And there's a small card on each of the tables. And each of the tables there's like 5 different options for what you can order for like for dinner, including like it's the full meal, like everything entree. It asks specifically no substitutions, no changes. Um and it gives you a good run of the ingredients. It says everything on this list or everything was raised and processed right here in Millston, right there on the card. Which seems a little odd, seeing as how some of these have, like one of these dishes actually involves tropical fruit, which should not grow in Georgia. But, maybe they meant everything else. Options tend to be, there's a sandwich, use your basic sandwich with cold cuts and whatnot with, home fries is what they call it. Things of that nature. Pretty basic food, but ingredients wise, it goes kind of all over the place.
They have chicken.
Absolutely have chicken.
They have mashed potatoes.
They got smashed taters, yes, sir.
Do they have peach cobbler of some kind?
Actually, that is one of the dessert options is cobbler, peach cobbler, and the other one is banana pudding.
Whosever's
And it actually
room is
says beside the banana pudding, bananas grown right here in Millston.
Do they
I
have
don't
chicken fried
trust.
steak?
Uh, sure, that works. We'll go chicken fried steak. There's a sandwich,
Yep,
and
sandwich.
yeah.
Sandwich and
So
home
whatever you
fries.
want to order, pretty much whatever you were feeling in the mood for. You find it odd that it's here, but it's here.
Interesting. All right, I'll take chicken, mashed potatoes. I mean, haven't had fresh green beans in a while, so I guess I'll go with that too. And then just do a little peach cobbler, something sweet before bed. Never hurt nobody. I'll put the card. Is there a place to put the card, or is it
Yeah,
like
she said hanging outside the door. There's like a
ah?
little bitty like slot on the outside of the door, like little doctor things. You put the card in there, and
Gotcha.
then they'll come by and get it.
All right. Yeah, I'll go open the door and put it in.
Okay, Daisy. The language that you heard was oops, I lost it. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, is Coptic. Well, how many successes do you get? I imagine at least one.
3.
3. Oh yeah, you're good. It was Coptic.
Whoa.
Another very dead, very old
Very,
language.
very dead language.
And
Very
then
occultic.
y'all put your everybody. Does everybody put a food order in?
Yeah.
Okay. So food orders come out, and after almost as soon as you shut the door, Wade, you hear somebody walking down the road, and actually, Jesus, it's my kid's school telling me things that aren't relevant to my kid's school. All right, you actually hear someone like walking down the hall, just as soon as you do, and I mean, you don't open the door, so, um, and then after a few minutes of waiting, or a little while of waiting, kind of in your own rooms, do y'all go see each other, talk to each other? What do you?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna see if everyone wants to just have a picnic
In one
in
room?
our
Yeah.
in the asphalt area.
All right.
Or if there's like a little like a bench or something that we can all sit around and break bread together.
Yeah. As you walk outside or walk out of your room, kind of in the front, it's like outdoors. You're not really down a hallway or anything, but you do see there is like a bench and a place to kind of sit off in the side. It's actually under one of those soft glowing like street lamp, so you can definitely do your thing there. But as you kind of open the door to see, you see that your stuff has been picked up, or your order's already been picked up. And as you're walking outside, the song moves on to the next one, and this time you immediately recognize the language, Daisy. It is Latin, and it is singing this to be like an ancient Latin hymn, or a hymn in Latin that you were familiar with from your studies. Not
Oh.
anything like nothing really like hits you as like odd about it. Just seems like church music in Latin.
Okay. Well, they certainly like their variety of dead languages. Knock on Amy's door real quick. Miss Amy.
A knock happens on your door, Amy.
Yeah, Amy was in the process of just like prematurely curling up into the sheets of the bed because it's just very comfortable and it's been a long day. So she just catapults herself out of the bed and runs to the door.
You'll also notice that there is no restroom in each of these rooms. There is a shared restroom that is at the end of each of the ends of the building. This was built before you had that kind of plumbing. So, like I said, very old.
These beds are really comfortable.
Yeah, they look comfortable. I was just wondering if maybe you wanted to have dinner with me and Wade before we turn in for the night.
Oh, yeah. We definitely should do that.
And I don't know if you noticed, but this is one of them real old buildings where it's basically got 2 outhouses.
Okay.
It's a lot like Granny's.
Ah, it is. That's
So,
why it doesn't really feel so unfamiliar, even though we've never been here before. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So let's go see what Wade wants, or if Wade wants to rather eat with us over there on that bench. That looks all right.
There's a knock on your doorway.
Get up from the seating on the bed, and I walk over to the door. What's up?
We'll have little snacks together over there on the bench.
Yeah, sure. Did you say they had peach cobbler on the menu?
I saw, but I'm skeptical of bananas grown in Georgia,
Oh, so
and
was I.
I
I
can't
wasn't gonna
pass
mess with
up.
that.
Well, you know me, well, I can't pass up no banana pudding,
Oh, I
but
know. I know.
and once my tongue is set on it, ain't no cobbler in the world gonna come close. So,
We can disagree on that. But it's okay. Also,
yeah,
it
that's
sounds
why
like
you're Granny's favorite.
well, somebody's got to eat it. Uh,
Yeah,
kind
Amy
of.
didn't get any dessert, but she's just like has the chicken fried steak and is in the mashed potatoes and is just
So
and a content smile on her face.
as you're having this conversation and you kind of turn around and look, you see that there is a woman actually setting down food on that bench without even being asked. And she looks at me and says, I figured y'all gonna eat together, so I brought it all out here. Kitchen's gonna be closing up soon, and she looks over at you, Amy, and says, "I see you didn't select one of the desserts, honey. I brought you some of the banana pudding because, well, the Lord wants it." So she kind of says, "Y'all have a good night. I hope y'all enjoy it." And she kind of hops off.
You too,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Yeah, you too.
Good rest.
As we're walking over the table, I kind of pull them in a little close, and I'm like, "Is there anyone around right now?"
No, just y'all that you can see. You can
Okay.
make a awareness plus vigilance. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Um, or incorrect.
Vigilance and
You can make a intuition plus vigilance.
oh, 2 successes on 2 rolls.
Yeah, you kind of glance around, and behind you, behind the where you're at's like off to one side, and you're looking at the front of the building to where the bathrooms are, and you
Mhm.
can immediately notice that these look like newer bricks, like this was added at some point, but they have a male or a man and a woman, like traditional like little letterings right there, and behind it in the woods, you see something kind of just move really quickly. Um, but after kind of like peering your head and looking at, I mean, it's probably an animal or something.
We really are in the backwoods. I think I just saw a coon or something out there.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
y'all
know.
sit down and you're getting stuff to eat, and uh, the first bite that you put in your mouth, it tastes different than anything you've ever had in your life. Better, like the flavors that you've tasted before are more there and accentuated. How old are your characters? Just out of
Around the same age I am, probably around 26.
in the 20s? Okay, that sound
Yeah.
good, everybody. All right. This is a story that the two of you, specifically Daisy and Wade, have heard your grandpa talk about. How food just used to taste better because it didn't have all this crap in it, and he'd go on and on about this until the day he died. He talked about that, and you thought it's just because he got old and couldn't taste anymore. But this right here is showing you that something is wrong with the food you've been eating everywhere else in your life. So much so that not a word is spoken between all of you, as you're hungrier than you really have ever been at this point. You continue to eat right down to the desserts, and it's the best peach cobbler slash banana pudding you've ever placed in your mouth.
I gotta say,
Mm.
Granny's peach cobbler good. This stuff is better. Pappy was right about. Oh, Pappy was right about uh all them preservatives and those people keep putting in our foods. This is the best chicken I've had in my 26 years of existence.
I don't know what they're feeding them pigs out here, but this sandwich is real good. This sandwich is so good. And this bread. I mean,
Oh,
I
and the
know
ham
that.
you got, it's like carving board, like, it's not sliced. It's that
Yeah.
kind of that thick, good, like the bread. That's not Wonder Bread. You're eating bread they made. Someone baked
Mm-hmm.
this bread, and it is crisp on the outside, at the crust, and soft and fluffy. Everything is just so like, and it starts to strike you almost as odd. Even looking at like Clive's garage, everything is well maintained. Like no, somebody goes around every day and just fixes it. Um, they've got perfect maintenance on almost to the point where you have like a moment of like uncanny valley for the whole town itself because everywhere you've ever lived, everything's just broken. But not here. So
Would this drudge up anything for me with my specific background? Like just sitting and chewing on it, not only.
are you can make a what aptitudes do you have for some sort of a cult role? You have a cult,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I've got a cult.
You could if you think this may be a cultish in nature, make that roll.
Daisy does. She doesn't quite trust all of this with the dead languages.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that whole I knew you would want to eat together. So I'm doing this unbidden.
Using my fingers to get the last bit of cobbler. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You notice it sounded like a Catholic mass in there? I mean, that song was pretty interesting. I don't understand any of it. It just sounded like the mass that we used to go to when, we were young and we still went to church with Granny and Pappy.
That would be 2 successes.
Okay. So for your
Yeah.
cult role, you're kind of like chewing over what he's talking about, what you've seen, and you have this vague inkling of a story that you heard of or was referenced about a town that never broke, right? Everything just worked. But that was connected with stuff about like a deal with some fae that they weren't supposed to pay attention to. You're not sure how that would translate here because this doesn't seem like that kind of town. But you do know that stuff like this is not normal. Like, yeah. So it's probably going to be prudent to look around some more, maybe figure some more out.
You know, Wade and Amy, it's just a miracle to me that things don't seem more run down.
Yeah, and you've also passed through other mountain like podunk towns, and every one of them is just people have left. It's like
I mean,
a
it's
ghost
all
town.
rusted out, just 20 miles back. The whole town was just rusted out.
Seems
And
like they just
here-
want
Yeah,
to keep things going here. Like all these languages that you know, but like we don't. All these like old and forgotten things. It just seems like that's their purpose here, and if that makes as big of a difference, I can see it. I mean, clearly, whatever they're doing with the food is working.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people just make it their last work to maintain and upkeep, and
Yeah, maybe they're more like them Mennonites or
the
those
Amish folk up
Amish type
north.
folk.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like them.
I
I
haven't seen
noticed
any.
like the furniture is all handmade. The clothing looked on that lady
Yep.
looked a little homespun.
Absolutely. I mean, it was you could glance at it. It was absolutely made homemade.
What's the dinnerware we're eating on look like?
I mean, it's you don't need much, but it's silver. Like it feels like silver. You're eating on actual silverware. This is not crappy flatware stuff. And the plates that you have are very fine clay plates that have been like expertly handled, like and created. They almost feel like, you know, like they've got like a glossy cover to them and everything. They aren't just something someone, you know, was this is someone's craft is to make this. But whether or not that's local, you've seen this stuff at a grocery store, but this, you know, there's no markings on it beyond a small. This would have the marking.
This is a good place to have to stay for the night. I hope that motorcyclist that smashed up bike was from at least got a stop in here. Even if, well, nobody found them, but
The plate on the bottom has a small engraving, and it's like there's like a central kind of thick line down the middle, like it looks almost vaguely humanoid, but off, with 6 massive, like what look like wings coming off of the back of it. It almost looks like a cross, but with like 2 extra appendages on each side to come out into this one shape. Each of the you can tell they're wings because they're slightly bladed where they come out, and all of the blades point down.
No, Amy, you're right. I do hope that whoever was on that cycle was able to stay here, because I mean it's real nice. It's unfortunate. I hope he's okay, or they're okay, because you know, festival's tomorrow. Be pretty cool if they found him within the next few hours, so they could come and enjoy the festival. Because this sounds like fun. After eating this, if they've got food and stuff there tomorrow, whew, I am excited.
I mean, I'd rather the cyclist gets to stay here with these comfiest beds in the whole wide world, and this, that's like nothing I've ever had before, versus being stuck somewhere in the woods and hurt. I mean, if there already hadn't been a mission to find them that failed, I kind of want to do that before we turned in for the night, but I don't think if we go
So
looking for
as
them,
you're
I'll be
talking,
stuck.
and as you're talking, you notice that time, it's way later than you really think it should be. It feels like you've just been here kind of relaxing for so long together that you look up and you see the moon is like way further in its rotation than you thought. It's probably, looking down at your phone, it's like almost 11 o'clock.
Peace.
So you feel like you just have been out here for hours just chit-chatting, and the itis is hitting you pretty good. You get a nice full belly. You're feeling very warm. Even in the usually really cool out here, but it's a good, you know, nice comfortable temperature. And kind of feel really, do you feel getting like you want to go to sleep? But
Oh. Well, ugh, I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm real tired, but you guys can stay here a little longer if you want.
Oh,
Uh,
your yawning's contagious.
just you know, give a little rap on the window when you guys are headed to bed, or the door if there's no window.
each room does have a window.
Okay, yeah, give a little rap on the window. Let me know that you guys are safe, because I'll probably lay down. I don't know if I'll pass out right away. But
All right, so he heads off to bed, and Wade, you see as he goes in and closes the door, that the light that's sitting like above his room just turns off.
is there still a light in my room?
Yeah, there is
Okay.
one in your room.
Is it like a lamp, or is it like an oil lamp?
It's all lamplight. This place, you can tell there's like the only wiring that you find to plug anything up is on the exterior walls. So there's no wiring, it seemed, to run inside this building. But everything's done with lamps and things like that.
Okay, so like oil lamps, not like
No, no, no. It's still, you have electricity. I'm
okay,
saying it was wired later in its life. Interior stuff was not
gotcha.
broken
Uh,
down.
before I lay down, I'm going to find the light that covers enough of the room so that I can see every part of the room, but not that won't be too bright that it'll mess up me trying to sleep.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the desk lamp, leaving that on is going to give you enough light to pretty much see where we need to. But it's
Okay.
also kind of shaded. The light bounces off the desk more than it does the rest of the room. Enough illumination to do what you got to do and fall asleep.
Yeah. And then I just lay down.
Okay. And as you do, you fall asleep to a you almost feel like you've heard this language before, but it lets you drift right off. What are the other two? Are you going off to bed?
Yeah. But when I noticed the light that is just seeming to turn off automatically. Amy's proficient in tech has an aptitude for technology. Does there seem like there's any kind of sensor wired that she could tell, or does it
You would
just seem
immediately know that there's a chance that it's wired to whatever's interior to his room. He could have just turned it off.
okay? So that's just
Right. Like their wall there is a light switch. It's not for something above, it's
okay. So that just looks
for like lamps and stuff.
completely normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you think immediately.
Yeah.
Um
And then Amy is gonna just continue to yawn excessively, and then I gotta turn in. See y'all in
All
the
right.
morning.
so
Night.
Amy heads to bed, and as soon as she walks in, light goes out. Mm,
And the you said there were windows in the room.
There are.
Okay, yeah, she's just gonna take a nice look outside and try to see if she can. Her theory for that there's probably some kind of greenhouse where all these things are being grown. She wants to see it and see like if she can see the light shining through and all the.
Where you can see, you can basically see Clive's garage across the street, and then beside him are a couple of houses, right there on Main Street. One looking like it's probably Clive's, and then there's like a road down, but you can't see anything like greenhouse wise. You see like a tractor repair type shop, like on the left, like an agricultural like center where they have like seed and things like that, but you can't tell that there's anything else.
She's gonna
Not
say
in your
that.
immediate, but you'd have to like really get around the town because you're in like a mountainous area, so you know that like you would have to
Yeah,
like look around.
no, she doesn't have like the view of the entire
You
town,
do
but
notice
what she sees
you
is nice.
you do notice looking outside that you didn't flip a light switch and your light's off too. And we go to you, Daisy, real quick.
So Daisy's got this habit before bed every night. She has to sing a little song so that way she can self-induce an earworm and there's not complete silence when she's sleeping. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just hoping maybe somewhere a walking after midnight, searching for me. With that ritual done, she feels she can go to sleep and she goes and locks her door.
As you do, you're walking up and you see this out of your just the corner of your eye to your right, this orange spark kind of go up, and it almost startles you. But you see standing under the light in front of the office is Semyon, striking, smoking or sparking up like a pipe, kind of a tobacco pipe. Um, that he looks at you and says, "That was beautiful. You'll love it here." And then he says, "Good night, ma'am."
Well, thanks, sir. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay. So you head on inside, and you know close your door, and the song that you hear on the radio as you step in, um, it's in biblical Hebrew, and it is a hymn that you've never heard or heard of before, but it's speaking of the Metatron and the words of God handed down to the people. And then,
This is heavy.
yep. And with that though, there's not much brain power you've got left, as tired as y'all are. So you really just kind of there's nothing doing but going to sleep at this point. So, and Amy, I'm leaving you with the light thing. Where are you at? You just noticed the light went out. You've seen you stood there for a moment and watched Daisy sort of like do her thing that Daisy does, and she tries not to let you know she does it, but everybody sees Daisy do it. And you see the light go off as soon as she goes into, confirming that yes, in fact, no one's flipping a switch, or at least that you know of.
Is Amy standing like back in the hallway again?
No, there is no hallway. You were outside in the
Oh.
parking lot, but Amy's back inside now. Like you, after seeing the light go out or noticing it, you just kind of froze there and watched what was going on. You just needed to see if, and not talk to Amy. You needed to see and see what like. So you walked. Amy walked in, or sorry, Daisy walked in,
I
and then you see the light go out. So starting from there. Sorry.
the feeling of being watched because she can't figure out what's triggering the lights to come off if there's nobody doing that. Because when when they first walked into the room, it didn't turn anything off. It's only now that they're heading to sleep that this seems to be happening. So this is weird. I think she's no. I mean, she is going to knows that Daisy is trying to fall asleep right now, but she is, since Wade did want to make sure that they were both okay, she is going to like knock on his door.
So
And
yeah, as you start approach the door, your head just gets a little bit fuzzy. You are too tired to do much of anything. You need to sleep. And even with your like wanting to go knock on Wade's door, you kind of feel you step outside, and once you do, Wade does not wake up.
even with the knocking,
You knock, Wade is not waking up. His curtains are slightly open. The light is on inside. You can see him sleeping, like blissfully sleeping under his blankets, just out. He's not in any distress.
so the feeling of just like sheer drowsiness is washing over her, and she can't get the one person who she feels secure in waking up, since like she doesn't want to like have to make Daisy do the whole ritual over again just to be able to sleep soundly. And she decides to just head back, and they'll discuss this strangeness in the morning.
Cool. So you lay down in your bed, and as soon as your head hits the pillow, like sleep just takes you. And all night, all of you dream of music. It shows you colors. It shows you symbols. It shows you um, different worlds, things that. But the music of the radio just seems to keep going through the background in your head. And after what are some of the not I wouldn't call them pleasant or unpleasant necessarily, by far the most vivid dreams you've ever had. You wake up in the morning feeling absolutely refreshed just as the sun is peeking through your windows. The small clock, analog clock that they've got in each room is showing that it is 7 o'clock a.m. We're gonna call it winter. So Oh wait, no, it's got to be summer if it was 8 o'clock at night. So 6:30 a.m. Something I need to edit on this writing I'm doing.
So it's summer and it's like early. This is dawn.
Yeah, it's dawn. Like you wake up at the crack of dawn, even if you don't normally. Like if you're the kind to sleep in, you had a full night's sleep, and you wake up refreshed, maybe for the first time in your life.
Ooh.
I think these beds are magic.
Yeah.
I'll get up and I'll go outside and I'll just kind of breathe in the morning air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you walk outside. It's just a little bit chilly. We're talking about out in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So you've got that really good layer of dew all over everything. Morning, the fog has rolled in, but you can actually hear just a little bit down the road the working hammers pounding, wood on wood, driving of nails, the shouting of people back and forth, and you kind of poke down and you see they're putting together the festival.
Um. All right, I'm gonna wait for the others to wake up.
All right. We'll hold right there. Daisy, you're up. You wake up, same thing. Best rest you've ever had. You feel amazing.
I don't trust this. I always have an ache in my right shoulder. It ain't there.
You do not.
I don't trust this. That music all night my dream. I hope the others had the same. I'm gonna go see them.
And actually, this morning these songs are in English. As you wake up, they are singing like morning revelry type gospel music.
All right, well, at least everybody can understand it, and I'm not the only one today. And as she's, just mumbling to herself, her morning grumbles, opens the door and braces herself for getting hit with cool air, warm body, full bladder.
And
That lovely combo.
Yeah, and Amy, as she's walking, let's get to you.
Yeah, the waking up, like the immediate sensation is just pure well-being, like into the lucidity of that feeling of I was being watched returns. So there's the dual feelings of these beds are magic, and the wait, I never found out what happened with that. I should tell the others. So yeah, she has a little bit more of like not as relaxed as the other two would be, since that is floods her mind as soon as she's actually lucid.
Cool. Yeah, and all of you kind of like so where we're at now is and did you step out, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you did. All right, so Daisy and Amy step out almost the exact same time, Wade, and stand out like next to you. Your room's in the middle. Or not the middle, Amy's in the middle. But they step out like right next to you, right in the morning. And you know,
Morning,
Hi,
Miss Daisy.
cousin.
Hey, cousin. Morning, Amy.
Morning.
I got to get me one of those beds when we get back home. That was the
Oh.
best sleep I've ever had.
I wouldn't trust, but never mind.
Mm,
I'm gonna go hit the head real quick. I'll be right back.
all right.
no worries.
Yeah, so you head down to the restroom, and you open that, and it's I mean, more modern than everything else, but it is a toilet, very clean, everything's working. Old porcelain though, right? Like the whole thing
Yeah.
is done in old porcelain, so it's like those old country bathrooms. You remember seeing these at grandma's place, kind of stuff. You don't see this sort of thing anymore. And it's not a low flow toilet. We're talking the real deal.
5 gallons of flush.
5 gallons of flush. Like you could suck a baby down that thing.
Sure, you drop your glasses if you wear them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or flush your drugs down the toilet way easier if the cops got there. But anyways,
There is a sheriff in town.
there's a sheriff in town. And as you all go to the facilities and get your thing done, each of them has like a shower in it, that kind of thing. Each of them is a bit larger. It's like 2 rooms each. So there's more than one toilet and there's more than one shower each, and then there's a little like dressing area. They're partitioned off so you can kind of get privacy and do your thing in the morning.
Right. Yeah,
It's
so
it's divided by those like old fashioned like dressing screens, like really dark ones.
nice.
It's a
Yeah, so
good shower.
after
Oh yeah,
facilities,
like great water pressure, like everything. The like fixtures are copper, very nice. They don't have a bunch of like bells and whistles, but you know,
nice.
yeah, it's nice. It's
I
been,
don't.
ever since you broke down, everything's just been looking pretty much aces.
I don't
Yo,
take a full shower. I just pits and bits.
gotcha. Um, you get your
Yep.
things, yeah. Get your stuff handled. Amy took a full shower and is feeling wonderful for it. Though you all feel clean. As you're getting kind of out, it's taking you all about an hour to get your morning stuff done. And Clive comes like walking up to you and says, "Morning, everybody. How'd you sleep?"
Good. I was actually just about to come by and see if you had a chance to just look to see what was going on.
Yeah, that's what I was coming over to tell you. You need a couple new parts. One of them I got, another one I don't. But I have it by this afternoon. I already sent a call for a runner. They're gonna be sending it out my way. They probably won't be here till about 3, 4 in the afternoon, but it gives you the whole day to experience everything out here. And lucky for you, it's the festival, so you got plenty to do. But I'll have, as soon as that part gets in, my boy over there, and he kind of points, and you see his son looks just like him, but half the size, wearing the same like really nice like overalls. Again, they are homemade, handmade overalls. Uh, there's no brands on them or anything, and he kind of waves
I
over
didn't
you
know
the
you had a
same.
boy, Clive. I guess we didn't get around to talking about that last night.
Oh yeah, that's
What's
my
his name?
boy. It's my pride and joy. Oh, his name is Junior, Clive Junior. I figured a name good as mine needed a second time around. And he kind of laughs at his own little joke, and he says, "But look, yeah, he's boy's gonna be out there hanging out too. But we're as soon as we get back, or as soon as the part gets in, I'll get the message, get it fixed for you, and we'll come find you."
All right, well that sounds good. And Clive is a good name. You just gotta say it twice, right?
That's right, Clive, Clive. Y'all have a great day, and
You
please
too.
enjoy. uh, he says, make sure you get to breakfast here. It's phenomenal. But everything's to start right early, and everything's to start down the way right at 8:30.
All
So about an
right.
hour, yeah. Our opening prayers at 8:30.
All right. Well, thank you, sir, and we'll look forward to seeing what you says. You know, getting our truck back on the road.
And you have the know how to get this working again, so we're not just stranded here. You're just the guy we needed. She nods like appreciation.
He kind of beams at that for a second and waves and makes his way back across the street. It leaves y'all the ability to put in your orders, and these are just every country breakfast is the option. Here's a card. After you walk back in your rooms, it's like while you were gone, they came and cleaned it. Bed's made, everything good. Card back on the table. Um, just it didn't matter how long you were in there. It was handled. You didn't see anyone come and go.
That's weird. 2 eggs, 3 pieces of bacon, and a cup of coffee.
There you go. You get it. The coffee also is marked as local Millstone, uh, grown and harvested coffee. The pride of Millstone.
As I'm going to the door and I'm putting the card in the door, I peek out and I go, Daisy,
Yeah.
you grow coffee in Georgia?
You have the you need to make a roll for this one most likely. That's going to be acumen and let's go with wit, I guess. Yeah.
And research is not going to be applicable here, I don't think. Not occultic research.
They're spooky coffee beans.
Right? Spooky.
Actually, yes. Upgrade it. Upgrade it.
Okay.
They
I
are
will
spooky
not
coffee
argue.
beans.
They are spooky coffee beans. That'll give us 2. I got to say
You
I
have
am loving my dice tower. This thing is just
It's very cool. But you definitely recall reading in some old tomes about places that were able to grow things they shouldn't have been able to grow, and that it's almost always due to some otherworldly force that allows it to be able to do this, some divine intervention, or black magic. Or what would
well,
be the by black magic I mean pretty serious, like dangerous magic.
yeah. The not so good and safe juju. And sorry if that is an offensive word to anybody.
Yeah,
So yeah, Wade, uh, I don't know, maybe we'll go poking around them woods and talking about coffee production in Georgia here in a second after we get some breakfast.
Yeah, I could have sworn that last time I looked at it was that Kona blend in Hawaii. I thought that they only grew in tropical places, and I mean, no offense to the great state of Georgia, but we ain't nothing close to tropical.
I'll tell it Granny in the middle of summer, she'd tend to disagree with you.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'd all be sweating there. She didn't have any AC, so her AC was the fan she'd hold by her face. If you
Yep.
got close enough to her, she'd think you were giving her a kiss, but really you just wanted that wind.
Mm-hmm. Unless she was blowing it from her nethers. They want to be
You,
up from that fan.
you ain't wrong there.
I miss Granny.
Uh,
Anyways, did you taste these strawberries?
No, but I had this bacon. It was a good
Mm.
bacon.
yeah,
This,
and
these
yeah, your orders
pancakes.
fluffy, crisp, and delicious. They are like more like a pan fried pancake. It's glorious. Syrup, also they say local. It's very, very like the woman that brings it out actually says our local maple syrup and things like it just keeps going on about everything being like homegrown and part of Millston, the Millston tradition, and she says she thanks you for coming out and hopes that you'll enjoy the festival today. And she says she can't stay too long. She's got just a busy day. I got a lot to get ready for. But if y'all need anything, just put the card in the door. And she hurries off. Same woman from the night before.
Well,
Oh,
I hope to see
man.
you. Yeah, I hope to see you at the festival if you'll be cooking there, because this is some good stuff. Let me tell you.
Oh,
Uh,
just you wait.
ma'am, I didn't catch your name. I'm
Oh,
Daisy.
my name's May.
Hi, May. Is there anywhere that we should maybe stay off of, like maybe someone's property if we decide to just go traipsing about, burn off some of these calories before we go eat some more at the festival?
Oh, no, there's not much. Not much trouble you can get into out here. Just, I mean, you don't go barging into somebody's house or something. Then You'd be fine. All the this side of town's pretty much all there really is to see, unless you want to walk through a bunch of farmland, and different farmhouses. But that's gonna be a bit of a hike without a car and all.
Oh
Oh, that's
yeah.
fair.
No, just I noticed there's, little trails and whatnot, and sometimes I like to go looking at,
Oh,
flora and fauna.
there's plenty of beautiful scenery out here to go look at. You should definitely take a moment if you can.
Yeah,
We
I
I tend to.
this is truly the country of the Almighty.
yeah,
Praise be.
I haven't had this much energy in quite some time. So I would love to go for a hike. Are there any trails here that you recommend?
Uh, we don't have well, hold on. She says, "Well, yeah, there's one." She kind of points back in the direction where you had thought you saw something, Wade. And she says, "There's a nice little trail back there. Goes up to a little waterfall area. Runs to that creek that runs all back behind here."
Wouldn't be bad to see. I could go for a morning walk. Sounds like they were working on the festival anyway, so might be good to just get some, what's that word you use? Traipsing out of our
Yeah.
system before.
You seem to like that new word, cousin.
Mm, Traipsing.
Traipsing.
Mm.
It is fun the way it tiptoes off your tongue a little bit.
Yeah, sounds like you just stumble on it.
Goes traipsing. Traipsing off your tongue.
Ah, there you go.
Finish up breakfast and then we'll go out for a hike, y'all think? Maybe when I say as low as possible. Maybe we can get away from such satellite ears as there seem to be. It seems
Because I'm
like
gonna be honest, I
it
don't
was
think they
weird.
got satellite out here. I haven't seen a dish or any TV since we got in town, so
Yep.
Yeah. So as you as you finish up here, if you want to go check out the trail, you end up kind of making your way back up. You see the
making my
trail
way.
pretty easily. You obviously people have been walking through here a whole lot. And it's surrounded by the kind of trees you'd expect, pine trees mostly, is what you're looking at right now.
Any maple
Um,
trees?
you don't see any maple trees in the vicinity. You do see a bunch of game trails, very clear cut. A lot of wildlife. You even see a small, like you see a juvenile black bear, kind of like down the hill a little bit. Um,
Does it look in any way close to what I saw the night before?
I mean, it definitely could have. Like, you could have been a bear that like skidded over. You didn't get a good look at what it was. It was a form. It was dark. You were sitting under a light, and they are not in the light, so you're obviously it's more difficult to handle. So
Yep,
you
I
just
got you.
weren't getting much out of there. It could have been that. But after a few minutes of walking, not that far, you get to the top of this hill, and you can see this waterfall. Kind of, it's not massive, but it's very pretty waterfall, kind of running over the rocks down into a larger pool of water that you see a couple of deer drinking out of. Um, and it runs down further down the hill where you're at towards the town.
Hmm.
Uh, and as you're kind of like peeking out there, something you do notice is the shininess of what looks like brass right there at the edge of the waterfall.
Like an ore or like just a piece of brass?
Like below you, where you're like looking down, like
Mhm.
the rocks below you leading down. There's like you see something that looks like brass, kind of like sticking out of the rocks. You can't make it out from where you're at, but you could reach down and grab it.
Yeah, I'll go over and grab it.
It is a shell. It is a bullet casing.
Hmm.
Small
Was
arms.
it was it like deep in the dirt or is it like
No, it's
on the
not.
top?
It's not dirty at all. You would say it might have been fired recently. I mean, you're
Can I
from the south. You've seen
Oh,
bullets
yeah.
everywhere.
I'll sniff it a little bit, see if it's still got some of that lingering smell.
Absolutely, it does. It does. There is the definite gunpowder residue, like that discharge smell.
Far,
You didn't hear a gunshot last night.
how far are we off from the trails for the hunting?
Um, Are you asking them? Or
I mean,
you're
we
trying to
walked
figure
up there
out?
in character because we walked through them and we saw the
Yeah,
hunting trails.
no,
And then
they were game trails, not hunting trails. Game trails is where like predators use and to catch game. It's not like they weren't like people trails.
I
But you could see them. You don't know. I mean, you imagine there's probably hunting out here. You just haven't. You don't know.
thank you for clarifying the terminology.
No problem. That was
Um,
that was in case I accidentally said hunting trails earlier because I didn't mean to.
It was game trails. I just assumed it was for hunting game and not places
Heard,
where the game
heard.
went through. So.
so you said it's small caliber in the casing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's
Um,
obviously a 9mm.
okay, so it's like a handgun.
It says 9mm on it.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
Hmm.
and there's a major or major bullet manufacturing stamp on there, so it's not like anything you've seen in town.
Interesting.
What you got there, Kun?
Bullet casing. And seems like everything is made in this town. Um, this isn't from here, and it was fired recently, but I don't recall hearing any gunshots last night.
Hmm. Ain't from a
Can
hunter?
I haven't had the chance to look. I'll put the casing in my pocket, and I'll just start looking around the immediate area to see if there's any sign of.
Everybody who's looking around, make an intuition plus vigilance, please.
My two worst.
Okay, are these D6s for each of the characters?
I will also give coordination plus vigilance. The idea that you can try to like understand how you coordinate a search, right? Like the way that you kind of word things. You can use that
Yeah.
as an attribute as well. Say again.
So do I roll D6s for each of the points I have in intuition and vigilance?
Yeah, unless you have something along the lines of survival or tracking, something that you, out of your aptitudes, you could argue would make sense in this situation. And then basically you say, does this make sense? And I'll say yes or no.
All mine are
I
sciencey. They wouldn't help here, so I'll
I
roll for science.
I've already rolled twice. I wouldn't mind keeping them, but I do have wilderness as a specialization in navigation.
Oh
Don't know if
yeah,
that.
then wilderness navigation. Yeah, you absolutely get not only the d8s but the your tens count as double success. Or not your tens, your eights count as a double success.
Okay,
Mechanically,
so
what's a success?
A success is anything that is a 5 or above.
Oh, I rolled 6 dice and they were all either 4s or 3s. So
That's a 0 success. Now, interesting thing. That does not mean you fail. It is a complicated success. It means
yeah,
you see it, but not necessarily in the most useful way, or something along those lines. It's
it
hard to
was if
fail
I
in this system.
that was if I rolled a 1, right?
You rolling a 1 does not matter unless you roll them on distress die. You don't have any
Noted.
distress die right now. Your distress die will be attached to every single dice pool that you roll, and they take
once
away
you have it.
successes. But
Yep.
all right. So everybody, as you look around, you can see pretty clearly. Oh, she got a 0. What'd you get, Daisy?
I got 2.
What'd you get, Wade?
I rolled a 5, so 1, and then I rolled an 8, so that's double success, so 3 overall.
Yeah. All right. So, Amy, you. The only thing you really notice is that it's stuff that they do like right after they notice it. Like you as soon as you notice your complication is that like you didn't get to like show anyone that you found it. It's just that you find a spot of what looks like blood on the rock just as Wade notices as well, and it's, hey, there's blood right there, and you get frustrated for a second, and you turn around, and you also kind of notice that it looks like a struggle on this like path over here, just as Daisy mentions it out loud. So your complication was that you didn't get to be the person to actually, say you found it.
Okay, so I was patching this character together from the last minute prep. I determined that she is, based on the combination of rough and ready and caregiver, she's a school nurse. She could probably tell if that's human blood. Does that seem to be human blood?
Uh, you would have to it is difficult to tell because it's dried at this point. you would need some sort of something to do that. You know that there are tests that you could do if you had the equipment right now to tell whether or not it was human.
But we don't have the equipment,
It
so
is, yeah, it is definitely red blood. That's, you can tell that. Like, so things that bleed red is one of the, which is most things out here.
Yep.
Um, I'll go take a look at the struggle. Does it look like it was an animal that might have, gotten shot and kind of
So
twitched a bit? But
here's what you notice. You got a 3. What you do notice is there's definitely some boot prints here. There's at least a partial boot print, but it looks like someone has actually like kind of stamped out or changed it afterwards. It kind of messed with the tracks, like even, uh, or just walked through it so much. Like there's been a bunch of travel. You can't really tell, but it looks like something happened and then something else covered up that. So maybe there was a scrape. You definitely see the imprint of like what looks like maybe a person fell in the in kind of the wet a wet dirt area, a little bit of mud.
can I just not too deep, but can I dig where the wet dirt is and see if I might be able to find a bullet?
Well, that's part of the whole search process. Is like all the
Okay,
stuff you're
okay.
kind of going around. So you don't find any more casings, you don't find any more bullets, but you have like you're pretty sure that something happened here involving a gun, and something was definitely hit. Uh, that's what you know about this area right now. It just, you know, and it's
Okay.
about this time that you hear from down the hill the singing of hundreds of people.
Mm, y'all, I bet that's the morning prayer opening. Now,
What it sounds like.
I just want everyone to be real careful out there mingling today. Some of these, so Wade and Amy, because I know you got married into the family and you got to get to know us all and all that, and you know a little bit about what I did in school. But, I mean, Wade, you know me. Ever since we was littlins, I was all into things that went bump and boo and night and all that.
Yep.
And these songs that was playing last night and in my dreams, I don't know if you had those too, but there's something a little not so holy going on. Like last night, one of the songs was an old Hebrew song talking about the voice of God, the metronome, talking down to everybody. And
Metronome.
yep, that's what I said. That's how she remembers it. She could spell it right on paper, but she can't say it right.
I love it.
Now I had
Shit.
dreams about them songs too, but when I woke up this morning, they was all in English. I could understand them as clear as day.
But you notice how they never say, you know, the Lord's name or nothing. It's always the Almighty.
I mean, I've met a few people who do that. I know there's some sects of our religion that don't use, God as a.
With your occult, you actually know that is immediately know that's true, Daisy, and you also know that you did hear Clive say it a couple times.
Yeah.
But it has been the primary way, definitely the Almighty, He.
The Almighty. He. And well, it just all this is just adding up to some little stories that I'd read in some old dead languages about, you know, people of certain areas, communities making deals with unsavory characters that have powers beyond our understanding, just like, you know, everything else that's out there that's beyond on our understanding that we think we could pray to and are blessed when it's answered, but when they come to call for their money, ain't none of us got that kind of money. So what I'm just saying is it's tickling some of them little in the back of my heads from school and researching and whatnot. So just be careful out there.
Oh no, I feel you. Don't worry. I mean,
This
this.
conversation, whether you realized it or not, happened as you were walking back towards the voices that were coming. As you get closer and closer, the noises are the music that you're hearing is amazing. It's almost like you can pick out words here and there. You can tell that some people, but it's a bunch of people singing, not necessarily together anymore, in different ways and fashions. But it all somehow blends together into one, just like a beautiful sound that unbidden, almost like you feel like you want to walk towards it, and you feel you feel a sense of like joy and pleasure as you get closer and closer.
This music has got me intrigued, but this has also got me intrigued. I put the casing in my pocket. Well, you might be right. There might be some unholy practices here, but if whatever got shot survived this, they're having a pretty holy time right now, I can tell you that.
Always a comedian.
Trying to make lighthearted. I got a sense that something's up.
All right. As you kind of like walk down, you see Simeon walking out like kind of ahead of you. He's got his pipe in his mouth. His coat is over his arm. Like he's leaving from his shift being done. Book under his arm. As like he's like kind of a ways away. You can stop him if you want to, or shout out to him if you want to. It looks like there's shift change, what have you. But he's definitely heading into and directly towards the singing.
Simeon.
He turns around. Good morning. I'd wonder where y'all got off to.
Oh,
And then
morning.
May told me about those trails, and I figured you went up there and saw the waterfall. Did you have a good time?
We did. The water was nice and cool. Hey, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Now, I've noticed there isn't, too much in the realm of electronics in this town. And, to each his own, I say about that. Not everyone's about the electronics and that kind of stuff. But I was wondering, more out of curiosity, for the animals that you guys, I'm assuming raise or hunt. Do you guys have guns in town? Or is that just something that the sheriff would have access to?
He kind of looks at you, puzzled for a moment, and he says, well, I mean, about everybody out here's got a rifle. You gotta have those.
Well, that's fair.
You know?
That's fair.
But, no one cares much anything. We ain't had a shooting out here in ages, other than bear that get a little bit too close.
I know that can be. I was just wondering. I was interested. We were out in the trail earlier today, and I saw some of the game that seems to be out there. I saw a little bear out there earlier, so I just didn't know if y'all had access to such things. Again, it's a bit of a different town than I'm used to, so I thought I'd ask just in case.
Well, he still kind of looks. He looks a little puzzled by your question, but he says, "Well, I'm glad I could be a help. Y'all gonna hopefully you enjoy the festival here. But if you excuse me, I gotta get to the church, and I'm helping out with some of the stuff later, or some of the processions later on." And he kind of heads off.
Of course. Have a good day.
And he cordially waves, but he's hurriedly like heading off.
Interesting. I turn over to Daisy and Amy after I kind of catch back up with them. He says most people out here have rifles, but I'm of a mind.
A 9mm.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Yeah.
Obviously you can get custom stuff made, but I don't know of any rifle that shoots a 9mm out of it.
No, I ain't never heard of one. Not even when Uncle Jed decided to go and start trying to make those combo guns of his.
Look, we all knew that PVC was not going to hold a bullet. You know, it just.
No, no, it sure didn't.
I think that was before you became part of the family, Amy. Probably a good thing.
But
Did he?
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, at least it didn't blow up in his face.
Oh no, it did.
Oh, yep.
You remember you?
And
You
at
met Uncle
home,
Terry?
it will. Don't do that.
Yeah, do not do that.
Never. Yeah, I mean, that's how he lost one of his ears. I mean, he's just lucky it didn't get him in his eye. So,
I thought that was the bear story. I kept hearing bits of the bear story.
no.
No, that's a different uncle.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got some weird family members. You'll
So-
meet them all at some point.
weird but good.
Uncle Jebediah, not Jebediah, just Jebediah. I think Granny got sick and tired of putting letters on his name. He's the one that was putting together, mix and matching guns. And then there's Jedua, who was the one that lost his ear to a bear. And it's easy to get them mixed up, Jed and Jeb. I don't know why one won't go by their full name, but it's the way it goes.
It is the way it is.
Y'all, yeah. So y'all get to, get closer and closer. You can see that overnight, because this was not here as you drove in last evening, but in the morning they have put up a, really impressive setup. There are booths kind of lining both sides of the street. People are kind of milling about. Behind all of the booths is where like supplies are being run back up to the booths. You see games where people are throwing darts. You see games where people are like tossing, like ring tossing, and just your basic kind of like fun carnival fare, mixed along with a bunch of like sections where there would be bleachers and there would be a small choir of children, really usually young, between the ages of like, you're guessing like 4 and 12, like singing in tandem different songs, like all over the entire place. And they are not all singing the same. So that is where the different like cacophony of like music is coming from. These stands of live like music going through the entire thing. You also see a bunch of food stands, and the smell hits you as soon as you get there. Just more delicious food, snacks. You could smell cakes and pies and all sorts of things being cooked, and people are beaming. They are walking back and forth, big smiles on their faces, looking extremely welcoming. And as soon as the first person at the first booth sees you, their face lights up, and they say, "Oh, what a joy! Newcomers, please, please, welcome to the church or the church festivities today. Tell me, is this your first time in Millston?"
I think for most of us, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, that is a blessed event, especially to visit on today, some with the most holy of days. Here, have you? She says, she kind of like points over to the church. She says, "Today is the 50th anniversary of finishing that church right there." And as she points at it, it's a massive like gray stone building that is easily the biggest thing you see in Millston. It dwarfs almost everything. It's from where you're at, you're looking at the front, and there's huge stone columns sitting out front of it, and a big stone staircase leading to these like immaculately carved wooden doors made out of some sort of dark hardwood. And you can't really make out what's on there from your distance. You'll have to get a little bit closer. And these impressive stained glass displays are all around the building. You can see each of them depicting things. They look depictions. You immediately recognize them, Daisy, as depictions of different angels. But the one that is centerpiece in the middle on the front doesn't like anything you've seen before. It's a figure with this very well toned human figure with 6 wings. And he is holding in one hand a massive horn. And then his mouth is open, and he has like 3 mouths on his face, all of them opening, as if he's shouting into the heavens. It feels like
nice.
it feels similar to a depiction you've seen of Metatron, but nothing like it. Like, like very, very different. It makes you feel like it's the same thing, but it's not. Yeah.
Like,
It's like the
maybe it's
plates.
an adultered.
That pattern on the plates. It's just as pretty, but I still don't recognize this.
Oh, that is the blessed almighty voice of God. That is
It-
what this church was founded on.
Do each of the wings stand for something?
Oh, well, you'd have to speak to someone more educated in such matters than me. I never really thought about it like that. It's always been the voice that was important to me. The rest of it, he could have no wings and he'd be the same.
Huh. Well, enough talk of all that, because I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to hear your deacons tell us all the gospel, as it's understood here. What kind of game you got here?
And she kind of says, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she's running a booth that is basically it's ring toss. There's an elevated wooden, like a 45-degree angle wooden board with pegs sticking off of it, some shorter than others and different colors. And she says she gives you like point values for the different ones, and you are more than welcome to play these games if you want to. However, Amy, as you're looking up, you see what the prizes are, and the prizes are these handmade dolls with no faces. Um, some of them are, and they trigger something inside of you that has never had that you always hate to think about. Add 1 minute to your track, please. This is your doll's trauma. Is going to be set off by this one.
What am I at? Oh, minute to the track, so it's up to 2? Or
Yep. Now
does
you
it
have
start at 1?
It started at 1. You'll be at 2. You now have a distress dice. All dice pools you roll have a D4 added to them. If that D4 shows up a 1, you remove a success from your total successes.
Okay, I'll grab a D4 to represent the sheer horror of these dolls staring at her with their soulless, blank eyes.
Oh, they don't even have faces. So soulless blank faces. Which I think might be worse.
That's really where the
When-
mannequin part gets you. It's the faceless part. Go ahead.
Right before they start playing, I'm gonna ask the woman, excuse me, could you point me to the sheriff? Clive was talking about him last night. I just had a couple questions for him.
Oh, yeah, that's Sheriff Milton right over there. And she points, and you see this heavy set man who's wearing he's heavy set, and then he's also just massive. He is just a big boned human being. He's easily 6'6". He probably weighs 300 pounds, and he very broad shouldered kind of guy. He's wearing one of those sheriff's like kind of wide brimmed hats, and he's wearing brown. It doesn't like any uniform you've seen, but it definitely kind of holds more to the modern uniform sense of things. He's got like a big leather belt and a gold like belt buckle. It makes you think of one of those like pilgrim things like that you saw in school growing up. And black boots, and he does have a revolver at his hip. Badge
Does
on his
it-
chest.
Does the revolver look like it would shoot 9mm, or?
You would have to get a lot closer to it. She's pointing him off. He's over there actually sampling some of the cuisine.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Amy, Daisy. I'll be right back. I just got a couple questions for the sheriff. You guys have fun. I'll catch up in a second.
So what we'll do is we'll stick with Daisy and Amy here. What are you doing? Oh, well, Daisy's gone. How about we just go with Wade, and then we'll come back to them.
Okay.
Wade, you are going over by the sheriff. The sheriff is currently holding a cupcake. That looks. He's got like two other like cupcake tins. They're in those like foilish kind of stuff, sitting in front of him on the ground. Like he's had a couple others, and he is chatting up this young lady who is behind the thing. She looks all of 14 years old. And there's some cookies and things like that on the thing too. But he's just talking with her, asking about her parents and how they're doing and how's she doing, how's her marks in school, kind of stuff. Like almost Andy Griffith-esque like banter.
Okay. Well, I'll wait till there's just a small lull in the conversation, and then I'll go. Excuse me, Sheriff.
He'll notice you when you get up there. If that's how you're gonna. If he sees you waiting, he says, "Hold on one second." Yes, sir. What can I do for you? I heard some. We had some visitors from out of town.
Yes, sir. Wade Walker. We car broke down a few miles out of town, and your boy Clive picked us up, and we stayed the night last night at the motel. I just had a couple questions for you, if I could pull you away for a second.
Sure thing. Let's go over here. He finishes his cupcake really quick, and he says, "Oh, you got to try one of these. Here," and he hands you a cookie, like as he walks by, and he says, he kind of like walks you over to off behind, like out of the boundary of where they're at. There's like across the street and behind one of the like little mini choir setups they've got. And takes you over here and says, what seems to be the trouble, son?"
And while we're walking, can I just see if I can take a quick glance down at his gun and get a bit of a closer look at it?
Are you trying to do this without being noticed?
Yeah, I do have larceny as an aptitude.
Then larceny is definitely going to help you in this one.
Okay.
So we're going to go with... We're going to call this coordination plus...
Okay.
Let's say vigilance.
Okay.
Since you were making an attempt to, like, glance when he's not looking.
Okay. That is 2 regular successes and an 8, so
You don't
4
have
successes
you don't have
overall.
a specialization in this.
No, this is just...
Then that 8's just a regular success. So
okay, so then 3
is plenty.
successes.
You look down immediately. You see that thing is calibered in a 44.
Okay.
45, something like that.
yeah.
Like it's a big. It's a big iron.
All right.
Is what you're looking at.
I relax a little bit as we get over to the area.
Yeah.
I just...
Oh, but with 3
wanna-
successes, you also notice that this gun is an antique.
Okay.
Like it's literally a double action.
Oof. Wow.
Like he could fan the hammer situation.
I kind of have a little bit of a jitter moment, just remembering going to shooting ranges with Dad and stuff like that. And then when we get over there, I kind of pull him off to the side. Hey, I didn't know who else to come and talk to about this. In any situation that, something comes up, I usually go to the sheriff to just make sure things are on the up and up. So we were, like I said, we were staying at the motel last night, and this morning we woke up and just wanted to really take in all of the scenery, and we ended up going on a hike up towards that waterfall that everyone seems so keen about, and I completely understand why. It's absolutely beautiful. But and I'll pull out the bullet casing. I found this last night, or this morning, sorry, I should say. And it just worried me a little.
As soon as he sneezes, he says, "Son, let's we like words around here, but we don't need too many of them. Let's just get to the business." He picks up the bullet casing from your hand. He looks at it. He says, "You found this up by the waterfall trail behind the hotel?" You said.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. We did hear a gunshot last night. And that's we're thinking that there's this young lady that was on this motorcycle got well, I think she got struck and on the head, and she ain't doing too right. So she was out there last night. We've been trying to find her for days. Maybe she's running from the law. We don't quite know. We got someone coming in to handle it, but don't you worry. Everything's gonna be quite safe around here. You ain't got a thing that you have to worry with.
All right. I mean, just wanted to bring it to your attention. I didn't hear any gunshot last night, but I slept like a dog. So,
Oh yeah, that's really the best part about this place, or about that place.
well, you mind if I keep the casing? I tend to pick things up on hikes and like keeping them with me. If you know what was going on, then
Well, this might just be, part of an investigation, depending on if someone is running from the law. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to insist. And he kind of pockets it and says, "Did you enjoy the festival?"
I appreciate it. And I understand, of course, don't want to obstruct any justice that's being sought. So I appreciate it. Just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Yeah, and he kind of he says, "Well, get on back to things and enjoy here." And he saunters off back over and heads to a different food table.
Okay.
All right, now we're back with Daisy and Amy, who are standing in front of the carnival game that Amy is having a moment with.
Amy,
what
did
do
you
you
want to
get?
play?
Nah, I want to see if they have one of those mallet games with the hammer. I think that would be a bit more fun then.
All right. Well, darling, thank you so much for welcoming us to the festivities here. Can you tell me, is there gonna be a time when everyone's singing the same hymn at the same time in the same language?
She kind of laughs and she says, "Well, of course. That's when the revelry happens, right at noon. That's
Okay.
part of the festival."
All right. Yeah. Figuring you're
She's- She actually says the whole point is all voices coming together as one for one
Yeah.
purpose. Language of the Almighty to praise God.
Uh-huh. And okay. Yep, that fits with the story of the voice of God coming down and talking to man and spreading all that. So yeah. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you around for the revelry.
And she thanks you. Someone else actually kind of comes and starts playing the game as you guys leave. You're wandering through the crowd and looking around, and you do end up finding one of those like mallet games. It's a little different than what you're used to. Instead of it being more a game of strength, the mallet game is a game of skill. You're actually hitting a mallet and flipping. You stand in this little area in between what you're hitting, and you hit the mallet, and you're trying to flip this thing behind you into a bucket. And there are different like distances and stuff that you can get it, but they had this whole little like fun little setup, and there are kids going to town on this thing. They're having a great time. But they're handing out different prizes here. These are little medallions, each of them with like the symbol of their like wood carved symbol of the church, which she had referred to as the church of the crowning chorus. By the way, I forgot to say that in a sentence that I was supposed to use it in.
Well, there you go, Amy.
Fun.
Yeah,
Go
hang on
see if
that.
you could beat them Lillins.
Yeah, so you you head in and you wait your turn and get up there, and it's this mallet that's kind of like, it's heavy and it's leather wrapped, and it feels like it's stuffed with something like dense and heavy, like wet newspaper, wet paper or something, and it's enclosed in, and you gonna make a strength plus. We're gonna call this toughness.
Tough.
Okay, 5
And if you
dice.
have athletics, it would increase. What are your aptitudes?
Aptitudes. I have medicine, research, and technology from the caregiver
Oh yeah, that's
background.
right. No, yeah, you have
Am I
side
supposed
stuff.
to have a fourth one because I did
Yeah,
see
yeah,
4 foot up?
you get a freebie of your choice, like your hobby, your what you do outside of your vocation that you got good at.
Okay, I'll go work in that while other people are having their turns. And I also roll my
Well,
D4 of Doom at the same time, right?
yes.
Okay. I rolled 1 5 and 1 6 and a 3 on the D4 of Doom.
Okay, you got two successes. So you come down on this thing and hit it what you feel is like the sweet spot, and you knock this arm and lever and this big like weight, like it's like a sandbag type thing, beanbag type thing, flips over behind you over your head, and it lands directly into the middle bucket. And the young man that's running the thing goes, "We have another winner!" And he pats you on the back and he hands you one of the medallions. And this one is, uh, I mean, it's very nice, very well carved, uh, very well detailed. And it's on like a leather thong that you can put around your neck. And he brings it up to you and like he places it around your neck and says, "Praise be to the Almighty, whose word teaches us strength." And about this time is when Wade walks back up to see that you've just been adorned.
Damn, Amy. You
Yeah,
got some arms on you just yet.
yeah. It's gonna be fun to show this to the kids when school's back in session.
And so yeah, this is kind of how your morning goes. Pretty much, if you meet different people, you talk to them, you play games. You if you would like to make a roll to see if you earn any trinkets, you may do so now. Literally any attribute and skill that you want, go ahead and do it. And then you eat a lot of food. When lunch is served, there is a prayer led by the past, but you do this up until about lunchtime, or not lunchtime. I'm sorry. Uh, there is
Noon is a big
a
thing.
not noon, not noon, not it is not noon yet. It's about 11 o'clock when uh, the pastor Millstone, who has the same name as the sheriff, and also looks a lot like the sheriff except bald. Pastor Millstone steps out on this big dais, sitting in front of the church that they had built. Um, that I should have mentioned earlier. But he stands up there on the big dais and he says, "Children of the Lord, children of the Word, welcome, welcome to this our 50th year celebrating this great structure, gifted to us by the Almighty Himself." And cheers and applaud happens. The music is still going. None of these choirs break stride. And it's this time you kind of notice that like they're the same kids. They haven't had a break. They haven't stopped singing. They have continued to sing nonstop, almost going from one song to another, sometimes switching languages during the process. Um, but as he's speaking, he says, he's also wearing this big black, kind of old school reverend's coat with the collar and everything like that, and a wide brimmed black hat rounded at the top. And you can see that he is even like he takes his hat off when he starts to lead the prayer, and you see he is completely bald. And he leads the group in a prayer in a language that have you heard this one yet? No, you haven't. You have to roll for this one, Daisy. A language you do not recognize.
Right. And we have my first no successes for the evening.
Um,
I really don't
Yeah.
recognize it.
You know that it's a dead language. That's about all you get out of it, but you can't quite place it. You're not sure, anything like that. So, uh, your but you notice that everyone's heads are bowed. During this, not the choir. They're still singing. You do notice that one of the choirs is singing the same language though.
Hmm.
And after he's done, he brings his head up and he says, um, uh, he says, we, shit, where'd he go? Oh, wait, no, he just had to say shit in Acadian. And he wishes everyone a wonderful time, and he heads back inside the church. Um, and it's about this time that you notice a few of the choirs have ended songs and started in the same language. So the corner of the area that you're in started speaking in Sumerian you recognize. But it's like they all shifted and now there is a louder chorus of each language, almost like they're coming together from different sections coming across, still singing the same songs.
Y'all, this is enough to make me dizzy.
No,
Mhm.
I feel you. Hey, I talked to the sheriff, by the way. I told him about the bullet casing. He
Yeah.
he took it. I mean, makes sense. It's probably evidence, but he said that there was a shooting last night and that it might have been whoever was on that bike that we saw, but I don't know. I got a funny feeling. It, his gun, I don't think could have shot a 9mm. I don't think it could have shot something that had a casing to it, but he just kind of brushed it off like it was no big deal. Um,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, this person's running from the law, blah blah blah." I can't shake the feeling that there's just something not right. There's something. Let's be honest. This place is weird. It's not a normal town that we've been to, but something just seems off. For a town
Okay.
so pristine and upkept, to make little of someone who's disrupting that just kind of seems not right.
Last night, and it wasn't then that a gunshot could have gone off, but the reason why I went outside in the middle, when we were in the hotel, we're being watched. When you went into your room, I thought that you had shut the lights off and they went outside, but it just seems to happen. And if it was sensors, then it would have happened when we just checked our rooms out before dinner. So somebody's turning the lights off when we go to our rooms, but I don't know who or how they're seeing us. So I don't want to spend another night there, even though that was the best sleep of my life.
No, that is strange. I don't think that they have that kind of technology here. Doesn't seem like the kind of place that would have it. That's interesting.
Well,
Well,
I
we're
was
gonna.
telling y'all, it's a little bit weird up here. That's something that's, like a little rant in the back of my brain about them
No,
old stories. So
I'm
I'm like,
feeling it now.
I'm glad you're finally coming around, cousin. Maybe we
And
could find some answers in the church.
Maybe.
so, yeah, at this point, as you're talking, you do see these massive barrels being drug around. Um, and they are pouring or being drug out from the center area where they keep supplies, and they are now pouring for everybody and bringing you big like glasses of wine for the noon festivities. Everybody gets one except for the singers. Children, everybody has it. And as they do this, you hear the bell tower start to ring. The church bells start to go off. And each tone is so crisp you can feel it in your bones. And as they ring, all the voices of the choir start getting louder and louder. And it's now that you notice that each song being sung by the various groups is picked up by the vendors, the choir, and all seamlessly mingled into one another. Each language sung, weaving together into a single voice punctuated by the ringing of massive bell atop the steeple. I gotta fix that sentence. As the 12th bell tolls, your vision becomes darker. As you look above, that's one of your things.
Yes. Wade doesn't like not being
Wade.
able
Like
to
the
see.
sun just got blocked out. Add a minute. As you look above, you see the sun sitting high overhead has been blocked by a dark shadow. 6 large wing-like appendages spread around the shape of the sun, and for a moment you feel like you can see the image of some sort of form connecting to those wings. As the form begins to take shape, it is then that you notice the chorus around you is no longer coming from the people of Millstone. The sound is coming from the 1,000 small mouths opening and closing in the form above, allowing a small ray of sunlight through for each voice. Each tone fills your entire being with joy, and you begin to feel overcome by the glory of it all, as you feel almost an oil and then you feel an almost oily presence work its way into your consciousness. And for a moment, you feel it seep into your mind, only to recoil as it touches a dark place in your psyche that has never left you, where something else left its mark a long time ago. Your mind snaps back to reality as the chorus ends and the sun shines bright overhead again. The people of Millstone are silent. There is no more song, there is no sound, and people are walking directly towards the church. And
I'll just go ahead and take my minute for that complete silence. Thank you.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
And you all are going to have a minute for what you just witnessed. Just automatic. So everybody should be at 3 right now.
Nice.
And it is at this moment, after the last of the crowd from behind you starts to walk through, that you are tapped on the shoulder, Daisy. And as you do, you look around, and you see standing in front of you a young woman. She's probably late 20s, whatever that is, young.
Same age.
Yeah. And she is sporting a splinted right arm, and wearing some sort of what looks to be body armor, Kevlar body armor, and fatigues that sort of blend into the background of the foliage and whatnot around here. Combat boots. Her hair is short, super short, keeping out of her eyes. She's got all these scopes and things hanging off, and she says, "The 3 of you need to come with me."
Okay.
Yes.
You seem more sane than these people.
Uh,
So, okay.
Yeah, what the hell just happened?
Okay, so she brings you off into kind of down the roads, and she's very she's halfway looking like she's sneaking, but at the same time she's saying, everybody in the town is walking into that church right now, and the 3 of you are like me. You're touched, so it didn't affect you. Something else already got you a long time ago. I'm not here to talk about that. But what I am here to talk about is what's going on in there is serious. We need to find out what it is, and you're the only 3 people I can actually trust to help me with this. And she takes you across the street into into this little area of woods. You're led back down, and she takes you to this opening where there is a dead body lying on the ground, wrapped up in a sheet, and 2 packs, weapons and things like that. So, before there's any questions, my name is Jessica. I am what's called a stalker, and well, we're in a world of shit. So, this is actually where I'm going to end for the evening because I have an early morning and I would like to take some time to answer questions and do a closeout and get done at 11:30. And give everybody kind of a moment to think about what they want to talk to her. No one's met the stalkers yet. This is one of the factions that's within the thing I'm kind of want to do a glow up on. So, yeah, there it is.
Nice.
So, how?
Nice.
Okay, did anyone enjoy it? How did you like
Oh,
it? What's
yeah.
going on?
I wasn't exactly sure where I fit into this narrative wise, but once we develop things more, I've started having a lot of fun. So I'm
Yeah,
really
well,
glad
good.
to have joined.
Yeah, it can be kind of early on. It's a little. I've left this one a little open ended because I like people to just play. Sometimes try to get into that, and I think that's what helps people get into who their character is, so that when we start rolling dice and doing serious shit, you know what you should be doing or have a better idea. So it'll start developing. But you did well. I mean, had a good time. You asked less questions about rolling dice than a lot of people have their first time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
That's
if
for
I
sure.
told you what it was the first time, you're like, bet, and then you did it, and I was like, okay, you're good, awesome, you're doing it.
I was reading the instructions and there was quite a lot to be speeding through them, but
God,
I
I
did
love
understand
nerds.
the basic. Yes, I love nerds. I love that this was a thing and that I kind of play a horror game for the first time in like literal months.
Well, we will just letting everybody know we are not going to be meeting next week because of Valentine's, and some people have dates and stuff, regardless of nerd status. Um, and we will be meeting back the week after to complete this. Um, but as a quick breakdown here, I would like everybody to kind of take a moment to say like kind of give a sign off. Like if you have anything you would like to plug, your own stuff, social media, go ahead and do that. And we can field some questions if we have any from the Twitch crowd.
So we did hit our $25 goal. I don't know if
Hell yeah.
Wheeler saw it or if Papa saw it in the chat. So that is why I did our little serenade. Wheeler, if you've got a serenade to hit the people with, that'd
Oh,
be great.
jeez.
But we are also giving away the Laurel Silverhand dice set.
Woohoo! Awesome.
Oh, wait.
Amy, since they're going to be singing our way out, would you like to do the next sign off? Do you have anything you would like to plug or
Oh,
add?
right. You're adjusting me by character, and I.
You're right. I was, and I shouldn't have done that,
I was like,
Pixie, but
yeah,
I
because I'm
did.
not. I was like, okay, I'm out of
You're
character
not
now.
Amy. That's
Yeah,
not
I'm
who
not
you are.
Amy,
Yeah.
thankfully. Because the characters are going to be in a world of hurt next session.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything to plug right now.
All right. Well, we look forward to having you next time, and I believe that we're gonna turn it over to who's singing first. Which one of you two is singing first?
I'll do a little ditty. But my quick
But Jack and
spiel.
Diane.
Little ditty about Jack and Diane. No, I was actually gonna do a different song. But my little spiel at the end. I run another Twitch stream, which Kat has been in many of my streams. But I'm the stream of many things. I do miniature painting on Thursday nights, and I've been playing through Hollow Knight on Wednesday nights, which I'm really excited to get back to because it's so much fun. So if you want to come check us out there, it's Stream Many Things on Twitch or Stream of MT on like every other social media. So, yeah. I'm just going to. I'm just going to sing the chorus to a song
That'll do.
because I feel like it's gonna fit. So,
Okay.
And I'll do it in my country accent because I feel like this song's probably going to be best sung in this way. Cause I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. Oh, I've got friends in low places.
Yeah. You can't not sing that song with a country accent.
I know, it's impossible.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's conceivable that the words work without it.
It's true.
Yeah,
Listen, country used to be good, everybody. I just want to let you know that. It used to be fucking good.
it did. Can confirm.
Well, Kat, were you singing something for us?
Oh, I already did my part.
Okay.
We did it in character.
You did do it in character. You're absolutely right. You did do it in character.
I worked it in real
Boom.
nice into our little script. It was smooth as butter, baby.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for us this week. Thank you all for joining. Who was it that won the dice?
Oh my God, Wheeler!
What?
You
Oh,
won the-
You won the dice.
I won the dice. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I always keep the streams that I'm on up to watch, so
Listen, anybody at home, this could be you hanging out with
it
us.
could
playing
be.
this game.
It could be you hanging out.
Please join the Discord, the
This-
Nat 30s Discord. Join the channel, and we can get you into the games. I'll try to be better about communicating on it, but I'm horrible at keeping up with Discord sometimes. Yeah, so we'll be running more and more.
You
Way to
can
spend a Monday night.
follow me on Twitter at Cat Maze, Cat with K, Maze like Willie Mays, baseball player extraordinaire.
Willie Mays here.
You can follow me on Insta and TikTok. Insta, we've got Cheesecat, and TikTok is just Cheesecat. Again, Cat with K. I make dumb videos on TikTok, and my dog allows me to put her in some of them. And I do also want to thank everyone who donated however much money you donated tonight. Like, seriously, y'all are helping out big. You don't even know.
If you have a
thank
recommendation
you so
for a community cause at home, please send it our way. Just
Yeah.
as a general rule, we like to focus on ground level mutual aid organizing, more as or direct funding, as opposed to putting it through anything big like a organization, like a big organizational structure, because
Mhm.
we want the money to go where it's supposed to go.
Yep.
So yeah,
I got one more thing.
We're
You can catch me tomorrow night on Wicked Independent Prestige Incorporated back here on the compound, playing with Izzy and DM'd by Cuba. And hopefully we'll have Roy and Pat. And we are the most motliest, funniest crew that you've seen in a long time. Guaranteed. You thought tonight's metronome was funny? How's Bald Guy's Gate for ya?
Oh, the best.
Now I'm done.
It's the best name.
rating
My-
dice
my
cream
f-
sandwich.
Yeah, my favorite kind of sandwich.
I mean, delicious.
I like cookies and dice cream. So
All right.
All right.
thanks,
Bye-bye, everybody.
everybody.
Good night,
Thank you for joining us.
everyone.
Good night, and we'll see you soon. God, hopefully I get a camera.